Nicki Minaj just reignited chaos in the hip-hop world, and her target this time is none other than Gucci Mane's wife, Keyshia Ka'oir. Nicki came out swinging, accusing Keyshia of keeping Gucci sedated, and the tone she used, sharp enough to cut glass. Instantly, fans started piecing things together, wondering if Gucci's really the one calling shots at home, or if Keyshia's quietly been running the empire behind the scenes, controlling the man in ways deeper than love. But here's where it flips. When you line up Nicki's tweets with Gucci's past confessions about his mental health and Waka Flocka's old Brick Squad warnings, the story starts looking twisted. This isn't just drama. It's a deep dive into power, control, and a marriage that may not be as couple goals as it looks on Instagram.
I have an issue when the criticism seems like it's personal or like from a bad place. And since I know so many things that are going on behind the scenes, what other people don't know.
It all goes back to the Breakfast Club, where Gucci and Keyshia were promoting his memoir. Everything was cool until Keyshia explained how she handles his mental health. She told Charlemagne, "I have a system. I delete Instagram, I delete Twitter, I control everything at home." That single quote set social media on fire.
Experienced him going through episodes before we were married, and I was like, man, somebody got to help this guy. It was really, really bad. It's really sad because you're seeing someone you don't know.
Just hours later, Nicki blasted off on X, writing, "Gucci's wife been trying to be me for years, been dying for the spotlight. She's there to keep G sedated. She hates Deb Antney. They don't want Deborah around me. She's around me now." And with that, the internet knew. This was about to get real personal. Nicki wasn't just ranting. She was on attack mode.
It's almost like it's a psychosis, you know what I'm saying? It's not, you dealing with stuff like, you hearing voices.
Yeah, they have voices.
You know, and you hearing voices too, like.
Out of nowhere, she came for Charlemagne the God, calling him a fraud and accusing him of using his iHeartRadio influence to run shady campaigns against innocent families. Then she brought up how he was hanging around Wendy Williams before her downfall, like she was exposing an industry pattern right before our eyes. And she didn't stop there. Nicki fired off that now infamous line, "The buck stops here, baby." Bookmark this tweet. "Y'all want attention? Let's play." In that moment, everybody watching knew this wasn't some petty internet beef anymore. Nicki was kicking down doors, dragging names, and going to war with anyone who dared cross her, from Charlemagne to Keyshia to even the industry itself.
No, allegedly, Gucci's wife, while he was locked up, slept with Yo Gotti, right? Allegedly. That's why he cussed out Angela Yee. I don't know if y'all noticed. By the way, Gucci, I love you so much. Like, don't ever diss me. I love you, bro. But
she even called out the LAPD for swatting her home 4 times while her toddler was inside, demanding evidence and asking why no one from Republic Records had her back. The tone was pure fury. Nicki was done being quiet, and the whole world felt that heat. By sunrise, the situation had completely exploded. Keyshia Ka'oir, clearly fed up, hopped on Instagram acting totally unbothered, casually vibing to Cardi B's track while giving the camera a smirk that said, "Try me." Fans went wild, instantly catching the shade. They saw it as a power move, Keyshia siding with Cardi just to twist the knife in deeper, right after Nicki's rant had already gone viral. But just when people thought the mess couldn't get any deeper, gossip heavyweight Tasha K jumped into the ring and made it worse. She posted, "Word on the curb is Gucci wanted Nicki, but she curved that yuck-mouth ninja." Then Keyshia slid right in, fixed his teeth, flipped his cash, got him hooked on meds, and turned him into her version of Nicki.
I have a system.
Personally.
I take his apps off his phone. First thing I do, I delete Instagram. I delete everything. Even if I got to change his password, I'm changing it because I don't need the public to know he's having an episode.
That post detonated across social media. Some fans were howling in disbelief, others whispering that Waka Flocka had already warned the world that Keyshia's the handler. Threads, TikToks, Reddit posts, everybody was suddenly dissecting Gucci and Keyshia's marriage like a mystery case. Then came the twist nobody expected, straight from Gucci himself. In his memoir, he admitted that at one point, Keyshia and 6 of his bodyguards had him forcibly committed to a mental hospital. That revelation hit like a thunderclap. Fans realized this story wasn't just about jealousy or beef anymore. It was about control, power, and the dark side of love behind fame's shiny mask. Gucci tried to wrap it up as a love story, saying Keyshia saved his life. But the internet wasn't buying it. Fans went back, rewatching that interview with a side eye sharper than a diamond cutter. The word kidnapped hit different once people remembered everything he'd been through. And when you stack that against Keyshia openly bragging about deleting his socials, changing passwords, and controlling everything at home, It started sounding a whole lot less like help and way more like control.
I seen it with my own eyes when she was wearing that blue lipstick and mohawk and all that, when she came over there when Gucci was in jail, and she came to pick him up from the house.
Then came the flashback that reignited it all, Waka Flocka. Back when Brick Squad imploded, Waka went off, exposing cracks nobody wanted to see. He tweeted that he never even got paid for No Hands. Yeah, that massive hit with Roscoe Dash and Whale that used to run every club in the country. He also claimed Gucci switched up after That Girl came around. At the time, most people shrugged it off as beef between brothers. But now, fans are spinning the block saying, hold up, maybe Waka wasn't lying after all. Waka had even hinted in old interviews that Gucci wasn't the same, that someone had changed him. Back then, people thought it was just industry talk, but now those words sound like a warning no one took seriously. And when Nicki's tweets hit the timeline, suddenly all those old clips from Waka resurfaced like puzzle pieces finally snapping together. Some fans are convinced that Keyshia didn't just elevate Gucci. She allegedly isolated him, cutting ties with two of the strongest women who used to keep him grounded, Deb Antney and Nicki Minaj herself. Think about it. Deb was his manager, Nicki was his close friend, and both slowly drifted away after Keyshia came on the scene. Coincidence? The internet says maybe not.
Drake, Nicki, like all them people accepting my apologies, they just don't know. It's like a weight off my shoulders because I had been like, because I was wrong. Like
Now, when you line everything up, the alleged forced hospital stay, the account deletions, and her quote about controlling everything at home, it all starts painting a chilling picture. The kind that screams power dynamics, not partnership. And Nicki's word choice, sedated, hits a whole new level when you realize that in that same Breakfast Club interview, Keyshia straight up admitted she manages all his medications. At this point, fans weren't just gossiping, they were questioning if Gucci's happily ever after was really just a polished cage. Keyshia proudly said she catches the episodes before they happen, but to a lot of folks online, that sounded less like care and more like surveillance. Fans started side-eyeing her like, girl, are you watching his health or controlling his every move? People began calling it chemical babysitting, claiming Gucci's whole vibe had been off since he got out, calm to the point of robotic. Even a few former love and hip-hop stars, who clearly knew the industry tea, allegedly dropped anonymous comments saying, Gucci ain't been Gucci since prison. His energy's gone flat. Something's off. And then, just like that, old clips resurfaced from DJ Academics' archives, where he claimed that Keyshia had allegedly cheated on Gucci with Yo Gotti while he was locked up. Back then, it sounded like pure internet chaos, but after Nicki's sedated comment, fans started revisiting that rumor with fresh eyes. Academics even connected the dots to Gucci's long-standing tension with Angela Yee, suggesting that maybe the betrayal ran deeper than anyone realized, and then came another wild twist. Rick Ross's ex, Tia Kemp, jumped in saying she personally saw Keyshia stepping out of a Rolls Royce with Rick Ross himself while Gucci was still behind bars. That claim blew up timelines overnight. Suddenly, what started as a few shady comments online had spiraled into a full-blown theory that maybe Keyshia's I control him act wasn't just about love. It was her way of keeping the upper hand, cleaning up her past, and making sure Gucci never questioned anything again. Fans were torn, half believed it, half refused to. But one thing was clear. This love story was starting to look more like a power play with luxury cars, loyalty tests, and secrets nobody wanted exposed. Keyshia clapped back quick, wasting no time shutting down the Ross rumor. She posted, "Ain't never had no dealings with Rick Ross. Period. Keep my name out your mix-up." But by then, the fire had already spread. The internet had its storyline locked in, and folks were convinced that Keyshia wasn't just a loyal wife. She was a woman who always had leverage over every man who crossed her path. Whether through looks, loyalty, or pure control, people swore she knew exactly how to keep the upper hand, but Nicki wasn't done swinging. After torching Keyshia online, she spun the crosshairs right toward Charlamagne the God, calling him a Jay-Z associate using iHeartRadio to push industry setups. And if you've been keeping tabs on Nicki's latest moves, you know she's been on a crusade to expose what she calls the system. From her cryptic rants about karate, allegedly referring to Cardi, to her not-so-subtle shots at Jay-Z, Nicki's been painting a picture of powerful insiders pulling strings behind the scenes. So when she threw that heavy line about Charlamagne being around Wendy before her life went to hell, people stopped scrolling and started connecting dots. Wendy's public spiral, from her health battles to her show's collapse, hit right after she started naming Hollywood names on air. Now fans are wondering, was Nicki hinting that Wendy's downfall wasn't random at all, but a warning of what happens when you step on the wrong toes? By that point, it wasn't just drama anymore. It felt like Nicki was pulling back the curtain on an entire network of power players, and the industry was shaking. Nicki's fans took the conversation to a whole new level, claiming this wasn't about jealousy at all. To them, Keyshia Ka'oir wasn't just a possessive wife. She was another handler, strategically placed to keep one of Atlanta's most outspoken rappers under control. The theory caught fire fast, with comment sections turning into full-blown investigations. One fan wrote, "I can't unsee Keyshia Ka'oir trying to be Nicki Minaj all over again, while knowing Gucci always wanted Nicki and couldn't have her. That's the real tea right there." Another went even further, saying, "Keyshia's definitely doing witchcraft on Gucci. Bonding spells, all kinds of spiritual control. He's under her power, and if he leaves, he might not survive it. But I'ma stay quiet." That post alone racked up thousands of likes, and suddenly, #FreeGucci was trending for all the wrong reasons. People started dissecting every old video, his tone, his movements, even his eyes, claiming he looked like someone who wasn't fully there. Some users even brought up the Gucci clone conspiracy that's been floating around for years, arguing this whole handler theory might be the missing piece. But not everyone was buying the dark magic talk. Plenty of fans rushed in to defend Keyshia, insisting the internet was twisting a love story into something sinister. One supporter clapped back, saying, "If you really know Keyshia, you know she don't play about Gucci. She literally nursed that man back from addiction and stood by him when everyone else left. You think she'd ever let him fall back into that mess?" The debate split the internet, half calling her a hero, half calling her hypnotic. And somewhere in between, the truth started feeling harder and harder to see. What started as simple shade turned into an all-out cultural civil war, Team Nicki versus Team Keyshia. The internet split right down the middle. Nicki's barbs were firing off threads, edits, and timelines like detectives on a case, while Keyshia's fans stood 10 toes down, painting her as a loyal wife just protecting her peace. Gucci? Silent. Not a single post, not a single word. And that silence only made things creepier. But here's where it gets eerie. People started digging up Keyshia's old promo shoots for her Ka'oir cosmetics line, and the comparisons had folks shook. The bright pink sets, latex bodysuits, bubblegum-colored wigs, everything looked straight out of Nicki Minaj's Pink Friday playbook. Fans began posting side-by-side photos showing how similar her looks were to Nicki's most iconic eras. Same poses, same energy, even the same power stance. Now the theory was spiraling. Maybe Keyshia wasn't just inspired by Nicki. Maybe she was rebuilding herself in Nicki's image. People said she wanted to embody that exact kind of feminine dominance, the boss chick who controls the empire and her man too. But according to Nicki's latest rants, that image wasn't about empowerment anymore. It was about manipulation. Nicki's line, "The buck stops here," hit like thunder. Fans said that wasn't just frustration. It sounded like a warning shot. A promise that she's holding receipts, maybe even industry proof, texts, studio footage, or private convos from the old Brick Squad days that could completely blow this marriage narrative wide open. And if that's true, it could reopen some of Atlanta's messiest hip-hop wounds, the kind tied to loyalty, control, and mental health behind the music scene's glittery front. Remember, Gucci once publicly apologized to Nicki, Drake, and Rick Ross for dissing them during what he called his manic episode. Back then, people thought it was growth. But now, after hearing Keyshia admit she controls his online access, fans are asking the real question. Was that apology even his? Or was it hers, typed through him like a puppet behind the screen? Now fans are straight up questioning. When Gucci speaks, is it really him talking? Or is it Keyshia pulling the strings from behind the scenes? That's the eerie question echoing across social media right now, because while Nicki's out here playing the bad guy role once again, dropping subliminals and daring anyone to challenge her, Keyshia's still posting Gucci like everything's picture perfect, smiling, matching fits, and captioning it with heart emojis while the internet's going wild. Meanwhile, Gucci's memoir sales are quietly climbing again, fueled by all this chaos. Whether by accident or design, this drama's making money move. But here's the twist. This feud was never just about jealousy or petty shots online. Nah, it's about control. About who really holds the power when love, loyalty, and fame get mixed with manipulation. The deeper you look, the more this starts feeling like a mirror to the whole industry, where image is everything, and silence can be the loudest form of control. And if Nicki really decides to drop more receipts, screenshots, footage, or even those whispered Brick Squad secrets, this could shake the foundation of every so-called power couple in hip-hop. Because once that curtain gets pulled back, we might see just how dark the game truly is. So what do you think? Is this real love or quiet control? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, and make sure to subscribe. Because you already know, we're just getting started with this tea.